hot meal and a cold drink from a Salvation Army canteen may be one of the first services that a disaster survivor receives after a hurricane, tornado, fire, or flood. But where do these meals come from? Many of these meals are the product of a partnership between the Salvation Army and Southern Baptist Disaster Relief that has spanned decades.
We have had a long-term relationship with the Salvation Army and Southern Baptist Convention, but over the last 2 or 3 years, I think both groups saw some changes happening in mass care and mass feeding, and felt like that we were both trying to find how do we continue this work in this changing atmosphere.
Salvation Army was needing volunteers and kitchens. Disaster Relief, the Baptists, we were needing a place to serve. So you put those two together and we had a perfect matchup.
Providing meals and drinks may sound simple, but in a disaster, the planning and execution of a feeding operation that can provide tens of thousands of meals a day can be extremely complex.
It starts with a phone call. Our divisional disaster directors with the Salvation Army are immediately on the phone talking to our partners, the Southern Baptists. We try to determine then where exactly we want to set up a kitchen, how many meals that kitchen needs to produce, what the footprint needs to look like for that disaster operational response.
Working with the Southern Baptist Send Relief Ministry and state conventions across the country, the two faith-based organizations have not only fed hundreds of thousands of meals, they've also provided other disaster relief services, such as emotional and spiritual care and long-term recovery assistance.
I think one thing that is always true of any disaster, no matter how big or small, it always involves loss. And I think one of the things that can be very important in those initial days of loss is just knowing that someone that cares about you and that you're not forgotten. But I think many of them also want to know that God has not forgotten them. And so I think one of the things that we bring as partners of Southern Baptist Salvation Army is we're a reminder that there's a God who cares about them and loves them and has not forgotten them in their need, and that we're a physical representation of that. And that's probably more important than the meal, but the meal is just that physical expression of that care.
Jesus is going on those canteens to be a comfort to the people, and that it just gives you a smile. It's the assurance that is given to both organizations because we do things together in faith.
Both organizations approach this as a ministry. We're doing good works in honor of our God. We're doing good works to meet the needs of a fellow man. We're doing good works to meet the needs of survivors. And as we do that, we seek to minister, seek to share the gospel. And I believe when we have that combination, we have the blessing of God to help us.
Whether in the gold shirt of the Southern Baptists or the red of the Salvation Army, the volunteers of both organizations share common purpose in helping those in need.
I know as Southern Baptists, we couldn't do all that we do in mass feeding if it wasn't for our partner, Salvation Army. I think it's key and strategic for us to be able to be as effective as we are. And we're so thankful that we have a partner at Salvation Army.
We each see that part of our responsibility here on earth is to be Jesus' hands and feet. And we do that best by offering a hot meal, by offering a listening ear, by praying and encouraging someone, and just giving individuals just a little bit of hope.
The Lord had compassion on hungry people in need, and I believe through the indwelling of the Holy Spirit, we have that same compassion, and that's what motivates us to go, to give of ourselves, and help people in need.